My name is Lynne M. Thomas, and I'm the curator of rare books and special collections and the head of special collections in the university libraries at NIU. Part of my responsibilities with the collection here at Northern is that I archive the literary papers of over 70 science fiction and fantasy writers. In my not day job, I am the current editor-in-chief and publisher alongside my husband of an online magazine called Uncanny Magazine, where we publish science fiction, fantasy stories, nonfiction, and poetry. I participate in 2 podcasts, one called the SF Squeakcast, and the other podcast that I'm involved in is called Verity, and that is a Hugo-nominated Doctor Who podcast where 6 women from around the globe get together and gossip and talk about Doctor Who because that's what we're interested in. As an editor, I won my very first Hugo Award for a book called Chicks Dig Time Lords, which I co-edited with Tara O'Shea. That was the first nonfiction book about media ever to win a Hugo Award. One of the things that, from a literary standpoint, we love to do is get tied to this notion of sort of the genius writer who just, the work emerges fully formed from the tops of their heads and it's geniusy and wonderful. And while that is some people's process, for the most part people write and rewrite and edit and rewrite some more. And what we're looking for typically are different iterations of the same work. So we're looking for multiple drafts of short stories, we're looking at all of the drafts of novels. Basically what we want to do is document your time as a working writer. We handle a lot of really important and fun materials. The most recent acquisition that might be a pretty well-known name is Lois McMaster-Bujold. She's a 5-time Hugo Award winner and a 3-time Nebula Award winner. We also have the papers of Fred Saberhagen, Elizabeth Bear, Scott Lynch. We have the personal library of Terry Windling, along with the beginnings of her papers as well. I believe at some point I will have a portion of Jay Lake's colon. Jay Lake passed away from colon cancer, and one of the things that he did was he had a portion of his colon that was removed, kept in formaldehyde. We have a barf bag from an airline flight that E.E. Knight put into his papers because he had an idea for a story while he was sitting on a flight and the only paper he could find handy was a barf bag. We also hold on to things like people's awards. So for instance, when Terry Windling cleaned out her library, she also handed over a large grouping of her awards, including a Stoker and several World Fantasy Awards. But the idea is that we always begin with documenting the writer and then we document the person around the writer as well. Well, if young people are interested in getting involved in science fiction, there are a lot of different ways to do it. The easiest way, of course, is just to read a whole lot of it and consume a whole lot of it and to begin writing it. I mean, there's nothing that stops you from trying to tell your own story. The other thing is that there are plenty of research libraries, including our own, that have significant collections of science fiction materials. All of our materials are openly available to the public. Once you come in and you get registered and set up, you can come and look at our materials to your heart's desire. You could learn about the history of science fiction, you could attend science fiction conventions, and you can get discussions about books at your local library as well. Our own DeKalb Public Library, for instance, has hosted for many years a science fiction book club. We have a great collection of science fiction that's aimed at teens, as well as science fiction that is perfectly appropriate for teen readers. The best way to check us out is to go to our website. Come and see us. We're very friendly and we're here year-round. We're here to serve the public and to serve our students.